Hello friends and welcome to AudioADD Live, episode 1. I'm Keaton Branch.
And I'm Brian Shelton, and this is where we discuss the topics that bridge the gap between music and technology.
And here we are.
This is it. We're finally doing it.
It's been a long time coming.
It has. How long now?
A couple years.
Couple years.
Been doing audioadd.net for a couple years and doing what we love and covering music, doing reviews, a couple artist interviews, showcasing some local talent, and it was time that we decided we wanted to go video.
Video it is. I'm excited. I gotta be honest with you, I'm pretty excited.
I'm pretty pumped too.
I watch a lot of video podcasts myself, listen to some audio ones. I got a long drive to work, so it's nice to actually kind of sit here and do this. We have a lot of great help from a few colleagues of ours, so yeah. Let's go ahead and get the show rolling.
Good times.
Good times.
Got some beers going over here.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
what are you drinking over there?
Well, I am drinking a Texas beer. It is the national beer of Texas. This is Lone Star.
Because drinking anything else is treason.
Absolutely.
We are a Texas-based podcast, by the way. I am drinking a Costa Rican beverage, Imperial. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I just recently found out you can get it at Specs right down the street.
Well, that's just lovely.
Pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
So let's get into what we talk about. As Brian said at the beginning, we're talking about what bridges the gap between technology and music. And we're going to kick it off by talking about, since it is the first week of 2011,
Yep.
we want to talk about 2010 in review.
2010.
Interesting year for music.
Yeah, interesting year, I would say the least.
It's one of those things where 2010 wasn't really a big year for music, but it was a big year that 2009 really was resonating. I think a lot of the big artists that came out in 2009, like if you think of guys like Phoenix and Passion Pit, they really had their big break in 2009.
Right.
But 2010 is really when people started to listen to that kind of stuff.
I agree.
And it kind of grew a little bit.
Yeah, they became pop culture in 2010, and I hate to say this, but I think 2010 brought a lot of trash too.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So
yeah, we'll get there. But with 2010 in mind, we kind of chose. We didn't go with 5. We went with 3 records. We went with 3 top records of 2010 that we kind of felt that were very important to us. We thought that they sounded great. Artists is great. And I guess I'll go ahead and start if you don't mind.
do it.
All right. So my top 3 is it's going to start with the band from Utah. It's a band called Neon Trees. Everyone is very familiar with their hit single "Animal," and
A little too familiar.
A little too familiar for some of us, but the record as a whole is is called Habits. The record as a whole is actually really, really good. I've been into it a lot lately, and I can't wait to see them live. So that's my number 1 pick. So yeah, my number 2 pick is actually a band from Columbus, Ohio, and I've spent many nights in Columbus, Ohio. These are all to friends who are watching, by the way. They know what I'm talking about.
Shout out to the friends in Ohio.
Shout out to the friends in Ohio. It's a band called House of Heroes. They have a new record out. It's called Suburbia. It really reminds me of a lot of bands from a few years ago, like Gatsby's American Dream and another band called Acceptance.
Yes.
That really just really hits. They've got really good presentation of this record, so I'm really excited about that. And my number 3 pick is going to be the Gaslight Anthem's new record, American Slang. This record to me just really is very inspiring to me. It just is a really good feel-good record. I can listen to it anytime I'm down, and it just really hits and resonates. So yeah, those are my top 3 for 2010.
Right on. Mine are going to be all California picks. I don't know why it ended up that way this year. Maybe California was the only place, in my opinion, making good music this year.
That's a bold statement you got there, Bob.
My top 3 really weren't that hard to pick because there just wasn't a lot of groundbreaking, awesome records this year. So I narrowed it down to the ones that stuck out in my mind. One of them is a guy out of LA recording under the name Baths.
That's baths as in I'm taking a bath.
Yes.
Just in
or
case.
multiple baths.
Or multiple baths.
I take baths regularly.
Do you?
Anywho.
We need to fact check that, guys.
Right. Baths is kind of a little ambient, kind of rhythmic. I think I described it before as a
I think we just had a collapse, guys. It's okay. Something fell, but it's all right. We're good now.
Okay, so Baths is like a mix between Aphex Twin and Air with maybe a little bit of Tico mixed in.
Okay.
Just an interesting mix of samples and rhythms in a very ambient kind of analog, warm kind of feel. So that was a little bit out of left field. Kind of like Gold Panda was another one very similar that I was into this year. Another one is definitely going to be Broken Bells.
Yep, I agree.
Broken Bells was a groundbreaker. I mean, getting the meld between what we were used to hearing with the Shins, and then we have Deadmau5 with amazing rhythms mixed in there.
Yeah,
it's a big surprise.
It is. I like it. I really am. And he was on the. I think he was the DJ at the.
I think I said Deadmau5. I think I meant Danger Mouse.
Deadmau5, Danger Mouse.
Danger Mouse, Deadmau5 or Danger Mouse.
Well, which one is it?
I think it's Danger Mouse.
Okay, because Deadmau5 is the Daft Punk single guy.
Right.
With the
Danger Mouse.
Danger Mouse.
Right on.
Yeah.
But anyway, Broken Bells was just a groundbreaking record, and they played a bunch of really big shows this year. And of course, we live in Texas and know none of those big shows actually come here. So we feel a little left out, but we can keep our fingers crossed going on.
Yeah.
My number one pick, and I hate to do such a big band for my number one pick. I feel like that guy, but the new Deftones record was awesome for me.
I really love it, man.
Diamond Eyes, you put it on and you just don't stop listening to it.
That's how I feel about it. A lot of people were all the hardcore fans are, it's not a Deftones record without Chi. And we really wish him a full speedy recovery. I've read recently that he's starting to get up and move around in his bed. So again, we wish him a speedy recovery. But I digress. I really think that's just a well put together record. So
it's just one of those things where it brought me back to the days where you go to an actual CD store and you buy a CD and you unpackage it. You carefully peel that plastic sticker off the top, which was just a bitch back in the day.
See, you did that? See, you know what I did? I did the unhook the bottom piece and open it up from the top with the sticker.
One of those tricks.
I
always bent the little legs on the back when I did that. I couldn't get it down. Anyway, you'd unpackage this thing, you stick it in your CD player, and because there's a physical act of removing that CD, for some reason a lot of records just ended up staying in that CD player over and over.
I think I've had the same CD in my CD player in my car for probably going on about 6 weeks right now. Yeah, I'm too lazy to take it out.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It's a shame.
Well, my CD player, the eject button is broken.
Oh, that's
so I'm pretty
nice.
sure the same CD's been in there for about a year and a half.
Well, he's got me beat on that one.
I don't even remember what it is.
Nice.
I'm over it.
Does it work?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So
it goes, and that's about it.
And that is about it, ladies and gentlemen. And those are our top 3 picks for 2010.
Top 3.
Top 3.
And our fingers crossed for something better coming in 2011.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some good stuff. I'm actually pretty excited about Coldplay's new 2011 record. I was absolutely in love with their last record. I just fell in love with it very quickly. I loved everything they did about it. Their show was just awesome. They had a full package presentation that they put together. I'm pretty excited for their 2011 release. They're working with Brian Eno yet again, so I'm pretty ecstatic about that myself. Famous producer, did stuff with David Bowie and U2. So yeah, pretty excited about that.
Also came out with his own record this past year.
Yes, he did.
It was very interesting.
Yeah.
Check out that review at audioadd.net.
You can do it.
Link it up.
Link right here. No? Okay.
We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds fine.
Episode number 1, folks.
Right,
Number
it's
1.
okay, guys. It's okay.
So, that being said, it's a nice little transition into other things we're excited for this upcoming year. January is going to be a big month for record releases.
Yep.
And by big, I mean it's going to be a big month for lame artists that we don't pay attention to. But Cake is coming out with a new album in January.
That's pretty exciting. Yeah, my old band, we were actually thinking about covering a Cake song. What was it? Friend is a 4-letter word.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were thinking about doing that one, but
It's a good jam.
It's a great jam. That fell through, unfortunately. But
Well, that's a shame.
after hearing from Keaton here that they're coming out with a new record, pretty excited about that. It's kind of nice.
It's gonna be cool. They got a nice little YouTube music video posted on their website, so you should check that out if you're into Cake. It's a very much a consistent sound from that band. So I don't think we are anticipating anything groundbreaking, but we're hoping for more of the same because they rock it out every single record they come out with.
They're great at what they do. I'm actually pretty excited also for so Patrick Stump, the ex-singer of Fall Out Boy, is actually coming out with a solo project in 2011. And he's doing the one-man band approach, but he's not doing a band per se. You know, he's doing a lot more, I guess, electronic beats and grooves and stuff. And I've always liked his melody voicing, so I'm pretty excited about that. He's actually been releasing some little teaser clips on absolutepunk.net, so you can go check him out there. So.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Never been a big Fall Out Boy fan.
Yeah, you know, I came in late in the game because of my prior band, but you know, I got into them. I won't lie. I really liked their last record that they came out with. What was it called? So this is the point where I'm sitting here thinking, and we can just flash the record name right down here.
And that's done. So.
And that's done. So that was the record. Yeah, exactly.
Right,
yeah.
right.
That's right.
We'll do it in post.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
It's gonna be catchphrase of the podcast.
Yes, we'll do it in post, right? So hopefully we can, as we do more episodes, we'll do it in post. Will be the least catchphrase that we use. We'll get used to doing this.
Word.
Awesome.
Word. Yeah, Fall Out Boy was one of those. Like I can very much respect the formula of songwriting. You know, having done a lot of songwriting, you know, in the past, and follow a lot of bands that definitely stick to that formula. But it's just, I mean, one of those bands that to me feels so stuck to the formula that it's almost cookie cutter.
Yeah, see, that's what I loved about their last record, is that it was not like that at all. But
I guess I got to give them more of a chance.
Give it a shot. You know, I can definitely see maybe on a record like the next one that I'm thinking that we're gonna flash down here. I'm just drawing a blank on these Fall Out Boy records. But yeah,
maybe that's to the point that maybe they're not memorable.
It's been a while. They've been broken up for like a year,
dude.
So it's okay. It's all right.
I'm just saying.
Folie à Deux. That was their last record.
Yes.
Thank you, Jared.
We got
we've got our fact checker right over here. This is
fact checker Jared with
That's
his smartphone out, and we're trying to do multiple camera angles, so we've got our iPhones dispersed among the room right now.
That's pretty that's kind of cool, man. Like something we can like turn in and be like, hey, you know, we shot this with iPhones and really nice cameras as well. But there are iPhones in there.
That's very true.
Kind of cool.
Very true.
All right.
Cool. So we want to talk about a couple web services that we've used over the years, some that are upcoming and some that we're just trying out. To talk about the way we discover music, the way people learn about music news, and the way artists will release their music going forward.
Absolutely.
So one of the stories you got pulled up there, why don't you go ahead and talk about that?
So one of the stories I got pulled up here is Last.fm did a year in review for 2010, and they listed their top 40 listened to artists. And I gotta say, I was actually pretty shocked to say who the number one artist was. I would have at least expected Justin Bieber or Lady Gaga. I mean, who wouldn't have? I mean, they had both, you know, stellar years in 2010. But no, the number one most listened to artist on Last.fm in 2010 was Kesha.
Are you reading that right?
Yeah.
I think it says $Huh.
You know, I think you're right. $Huh is Last.fm's most listened to artist in 2010. Yeah. Okay, so get this.
I'm sorry. To all the Kesha fans out there, we don't want to offend you. This is our personal preference.
This is true.
It's not saying anything about the people who listen to Kesha.
She could be a great girl for all I know, even though there were leaked pictures of her on the internet not looking too girly. But, you know, that happens. I'm sure something's, yeah. So if you guys are not familiar, Last.fm has a really neat feature that they've created. It's called the Scrabble. Scrabble, what that does, it actually is a program you can put on your computer, and whenever you hook your iPod or music player up to it, it actually reads everything that you listen to, and it adds it kind of to their database. Also, if you go to the Last.fm webpage and listen to music on there, it'll kind of add that up in there. And Kesha came in at number one with 15.9 million Scrabbles last year. So
that is intense.
That's a lot of listens, guys.
That is intense.
Yeah.
I mean, scrabbling is done from a lot of different places.
This is very true.
You got your iPods, but also a lot of the premium web services will scrabble the songs that you listen to back to Last.fm. It's got some really cool features where you can go and take a look at, you know, over the past year or month or week, what the top listened to artists were for you or for your friends or just in general.
It's a great social aspect to what they're doing. What are your friends listening to in the past 6 months, in the past year? You know, I know my top three scrabbles, I think, are John Mayer, Mute Math, the Foo Fighters. I think those are my top three.
I mean, since I have mine listed as all time, it's probably stuff like Nine Inch Nails, Elliott Smith, Pearl Jam, probably even Metallica.
Nice.
Mixed in there, but definitely it's a really cool way to discover new music because it's got the radio features like things like Pandora and Mog and other services like that have. However, instead of adjusting simply by the rule of a thumbs up and thumbs down on the song that it pulls up, it's actually pulling from what you have been listening to and suggesting similar artists to what your trends have been.
Absolutely.
Which I think is really cool. It's a little bit more accurate way of finding things that artists that you might not have heard of, but would definitely pique your interest.
What's really cool about that too is, back in the day, I used that term very loosely for some of you younger folks, but back in the day, I remember when you discover new music by finding the obscure guy at high school who knew all the up and coming underground bands, and you really wanted to be like, dude, what's coming up next, or what are you listening to now? Now those are pretty much a thing of the past. These services are actually really smart at giving you recommendations, or this is what's hot, things like that. So there's definitely a boom in that, which I'm pretty excited about. So
cool. So let's talk about in the vein of discovering music and the way that is changing for these newer generations. Back in the day, when MTV used to show music videos.
Whoa.
That was...
Whoa.
I know, it was quite a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Kind of predates the real world.
Let me see. The last time I remember discovering an artist on MTV via music video was about 3 o'clock in the morning when they were doing their... I think it was just after hours, music video spins and whatnot. I think it was POD. It was Southtown. That was the last one. I'd never heard of POD. I was kind of into the, yes, I confess right now on camera, I was a new metal kid.
And there it is.
It's not something that I like to relive, but I'm going to be honest, I was a new metal kid. So that being said, I was pretty excited when I heard of POD in Southtown. So
I was on vacation with my family in the late 90s. I don't remember what year it was, but my brother and I were sharing a fold-out bed in the living room of whatever hotel or beach house, whatever. And we had the volume super low on the TV, but we were flipping through the channels and ended up on MTV2. And I remember the video for Refused New Noise.
Wow.
Came on, and we were just blown away. And the next day we went out and bought the record.
That's cool.
So that was the last time music was discovered that way. But now that you can't really see many music videos on TV anymore, Vivo developed a separate channel specifically for music videos. You can get them in high def. It's ad supported, so they're free, they're on demand, and they've actually got iPhone and iPad apps, and I believe even Android right now to support the platform. And they're calling it Vivo. Vivo is interesting because it's not like a roll of videos like we're used to seeing on something like MTV.
It's like on-demand music videos.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, are music videos important anymore?
Some artists will tell you that music videos are still important, that you still want to put a name with the face, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Okay, so you take an artist. Okay, here's your scenario. You're a band, you've been going for a while, and you create a phenomenal music video, and it just goes beyond viral. I'm using an example of OK Go. So OK Go made just a phenomenal music video a few years ago. The treadmill music video, if you guys are not familiar with it, you can look it up. And if you're not familiar with it, then I don't know what rock you've been living under. So they did that, and then they just filmed one recently. I think it was 2010. They did a music video long Rube Goldberg machine from start to finish, and it's just awesome. Incredible.
I mean, even they've got a couple videos since then, and it's just the amount of time and effort put into their music videos. They're works of art, standing on their own right.
Yeah, I agree.
But it is one of those ways to take something like that because the video itself is cool and get your music to be viral.
Yeah, I think we're getting in that age where music videos where bands are just playing live is not enough anymore for people. It's got to be something like OK Go's Rube Goldberg Machine or Mute Math's Typical, where they had to learn their entire song backwards and actually perform it backwards. Like that's astounding. And like I think that we're getting to that point to where consumers they want more than just a guy playing in a barn or in a whatever, and it's a story of a guy and a girl running away with some like slow shot. It's like it's been done. So I think bands like that, like OK Go, and then also Arcade Fire. They came out with a pretty big one this year. They did a music video on HTML5, which is pretty awesome. A pretty new. It's a web standard. On the ranks of growing very rapidly, and that was also really cool. So I think it's stuff like that that's really going to pave the way for 2011's music videos. I think people are going to slowly start to realize that that's what consumers want.
I guess we'll see.
I guess we will see.
Starting now.
Starting now.
Cool. So one of the last things we wanted to talk about today is Brian and I are both subscribers to different music subscription services. We're talking on-demand music services where they've made partnerships with the record labels to license all of this music, and you have access to millions of songs from a website or from an iPhone app, to where you can access just about anything, either from your library or something that's not in your library because you're paying monthly for it. So Brian's been trying out RDO.
Yep.
And I've been working on Mog for the past few days. And we kind of wanted to chit-chat about some of the feature differences and what we're thinking about it.
So, and also for you guys across the pond, if you're somewhat familiar, it's going to be something like Spotify. Spotify, unfortunately, said that it's not looking too good for 2011 to come to the U.S., unfortunately. Well, we'll see how it goes, but currently right now I'm using RDO. I got in on a kind of like a beta invite a few months ago, and I've been doing it ever since. Pros and cons. So the pros that I like is that you have the ability to, RDO has the ability to look at your entire iTunes library and kind of match what you have versus what they have into your what they call collection. There was a music service prior to that called Lala, and Lala actually did the same thing. So that's a really cool feature I like because it's in effect I have my entire iTunes library or what they can match, which is probably about a good 90 to 92% of what I have, which I have upwards of 13,000, 14,000 songs anyway, so I'll never, best that. So, which is really cool. Another pro, they're very social, so you can really discover what other people are listening to. You have collaborative playlists, you have shared playlists, you can subscribe to someone's playlist, which is really cool. Some of the downsides are there's not a lot of people on there yet, so it's growing fast. I'm sure it is, but I guess I could say the people that I follow on Facebook and Twitter and stuff, not quite there yet. I'm not sure how well it's going to take off, but I gotta say I'm pretty excited with it myself. It's nice being able to have my entire iTunes library on demand. So it's at $9.99 a month for unlimited access online and through an iPhone, Android, or BlackBerry application.
Yeah, both of the services we've been using charge $9.99 a month for web and mobile device access.
Yeah.
Or you can get a $5 a month
web only,
which is that's cool. But I've really been enjoying kind of discovering music the way some of the people I like or trust as far as their music taste goes discover music themselves.
So this is really cool. This is a really big difference between RDO and Mog is that you can go ahead and finish that.
So with Mog, I've been able to go through and they have the featured playlists where they have either artists or basically music curators go in and choose some of the best tracks and create these nice playlists and different themes. And recently it's been best of 2010 because we've kind of reached that point. But the thing is with the way I discover music is through podcasts, through reading articles online, talking to my friends. And one of my favorite sources for new music is NPR's All Songs Considered, which is an awesome podcast. If you haven't checked it out, go to npr.org and check that out. But
absolutely. Great app too.
But a lot of the people who put together the music and the playlist for that show are actually on Mog, and so I've been able to see like for example, Jeff Jarvis is on there.
Oh, cool.
Or there's just a handful of different people who have put together all of these playlists where I can say, okay, I trust that person's music taste, and I can add them to my feed. So if I have a handful of people that I've learned to trust over time, whether it's through Mog or not,
right,
I can find them on there. I can have all the music they listen to added to my feed, any playlist they make added to my feed, and that syncs to my mobile. So if I've added it to my feed, I can pull up my iPhone, pull up their playlist, and see what they're jamming.
So that's kind of a cool little difference where you have the collection and the feed, I guess. The collection is more like add what you want, get your collection as big as possible. I like the fact of the feed with Mog because you can say like this person is listening to that. Let me add 2 records or whatnot. Like I think I read a top 3 records from Riley Breckenridge, who is the Drummer or bass player of Thrice? I can't remember.
He's a dude from Thrice.
He's one of the brothers. There's two brothers. God, they're gonna hate me now. I don't know the two that. Hold on, I need a fact checker, please. He's looking it up, guys. All right. But anyways, he did a year in review. So it was cool that I added those 3 records to my RDO, but then I look at my collection and I realize that I have over 9,000 songs. And I'm not going to really remember to find them unless I kind of do it by accident. Like, oh yeah, 3 months later, he recommended this record. So it is really cool about Mog having that discoverability feature. The last feature I wanted to talk about with Mog, I know I've been using RDO and all I've been doing is talking about Mog. So maybe I'm going to be making the old switcheroo. Is
coming over to the dark side.
Is the radio feature. So talk about the radio feature.
Radio feature is so cool. So if I pull up, let's say one of my favorite artists, Rage Against the Machine.
There we go.
Right? Pull up Rage and it will pull up their catalog and I can turn on the radio, which means it basically shuffles their catalog. But the cool feature about Mog is that there's this little slider where it has artist only and it has similar artists. So it starts on artist only, so it's playing their catalog, shuffling both big singles and a lot of the deeper cuts are mixed in there.
Cool.
And then I can slide it over towards similar artists, and I watch the playlist as it populates below. And as you slide it, you can see similar artists pop in. So a lot of other. It's a cool music discovery type of thing, but it also lets you control because, for example, if I'm in the mood for, let's say, North Star, but I want to slide in just a couple other bands like it, so if I just add the first or second notch, maybe I'll hear 2 or 3 North Star songs and then Taking Back Sunday, or 2 or 3 more North Star songs and Brand New. But it lets me control how much or how little of that artist I want and how much music discovery is involved.
And that's a killer feature that your free and premium services like like Pandora, Last.fm, and Slacker don't currently offer right now. It's kind of just what they pick. Pandora goes by the Music Genome Project. Slacker kind of just has a different process. Great selection library of songs, but having that ability to choose really what you want to listen to with that, I think just makes it a killer feature because you can play best of both worlds. You can be like a Pandora or just goes through the shuffle, or I don't want to listen to more of this. So that's definitely a killer feature.
Wow. So there it is. Maybe a switcher.
Maybe a switcher. It looks like I might be a switcher, guys. So I'm not sure. We'll definitely see how it goes.
We'll check back in episode dos.
Yep.
Right on. So that's just about all we got time for today.
That is.
Thanks so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys just watching.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly why we do this.
Absolutely.
If you want to follow us on Twitter, my Twitter name is Kbranch. K-Branch?
That would be a K branch, not K-A-H or something.
Right.
You can follow me on Twitter. I'm Life as Brian with a Y, ladies and gentlemen, not with an I, okay?
Brian with a Y.
Brian with a Y. Life is Brian.
Cool.
Yeah, and we'll be on there talking music, talking whatever, and we'll see you on there.
Big shout out to other people in the room.
Absolutely.
Our fact checker, Jared.
Did we find out?
Drummer.
I knew it. I was going to say drummer.
Jared Frank, everybody.
Yep.
Twitter.com/JFRA, J-F-R-A.
JFRA.
We got our gentleman behind the cameras. We got Nelson Lopez back there.
That's
Nelson,
right.
are you on Twitter?
Edit Nelson and paperplanesmovie.com.
Edit Nelson. Check out paperplanesmovie.com.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
he doesn't even know. He doesn't.
Well,
even know.
do a Twitter search.
I have people doing this stuff.
Oh, he's big time now.
We'll link it up. We'll link it up.
We'll link it up. That's right.
Adrian, you on Twitter yet?
No, man. Facebook only.
Facebook only.
Get with the times,
brother.
Come on.
Nah, man, you can't be like that. You need that Twitter.
All right.
Amazing talent behind the cameras, guys.
Thank you guys
Big
so
shout out
much.
to those guys.
I think we're gonna pack up and have us a nice little steak dinner. So that's what we do in Texas. We drink beer and have steak dinner.
Steak and taters, ladies and gentlemen. It's been real. See you next time.
See you next time.